everybody, welcome back to Tackle on My Mind. What's on my mind today? It's tournament time. We got a tournament coming up this Sunday, May 5th. If you're unfamiliar, I'm a tournament director of the Toledo Area Kayak Anglers League, Tackle, which is kind of where I got the name for this page. Also, I always got Tackle on my mind. We got our first tournament of the season, our first live tournament of the season. We're going to be fishing up in Nettle Lake up in Northwest Ohio. I've never fished it this early in the year. Hopefully get some pre-spawn. There might even be some bass spawning at this time. I think we'll probably get some pre-spawn, get some good bags going. We got a good sign up for the tournament so far. If you're in the area, you want to join Tackle, you haven't joined Tackle yet, come join us. Join us at Nettle Lake. All the information's on the Facebook page under Toledo Area Kayak Anglers League. A couple other things. Omnia Fishing. I've been doing some reports on there. Some of our lakes here in Northwest Ohio. After Sunday, I'll be posting a report on there featuring, you know, kind of how I did. Hopefully catch some bass, give you some of the lures I've used, some of the techniques I've used in that report. Afterwards, you can go check out any of these reports. Interested in more in the baits, click on it. That, you know, helps me out a little bit, which then in turn hopefully helps get some more content out for the channel and things like that. So just to kind of start off today, I'm going to pick up the camera here, just going to take a quick walk through to my kayak, and then I'm going to set the camera back down. I'm going to show you my rod setup. I think maybe a little later in the week I'll even go as far as breaking down some of the lures I'm going to use for this tournament. Again, this is the first tournament of the year. I got a good idea. I've kind of got myself set up for it, so hopefully it'll work. But here we go, a little kayak setup for you. See here, this is my Wilderness Attack 120. Great little kayak for me. Quick setup of what I do here. Try to get a few close-ups. I got my fish finder here. This is a great fish finder. What I really like about this whole setup is this pod that lifts right out of there. You got everything you need on here. It's got the transducer on here. It's got the battery in there. Pop it in there. At the end of the day, you pop it back out. A few other things I need for my tournament setup. I got my paddle over there. Got that attached to a paddle leash. I got a couple paddle holders for it to keep it out of my way when I'm not using it. Once I catch a fish, we do capture, catch, photo, release. This is called a donkey leash. It's attached to my kayak. Clip the fish's mouth in there, clamp it down on him so he doesn't get out. Then I can put him back in the water while I get everything ready. And what am I getting ready? I got my dirty catch board. I got to get that cleaned up for the tournament. It's got an identifier on there. It's got the measuring on there. It's got our bump board. Got a nice tackle sticker on that bump board. That's where we stick our fish on. That's how we measure our fish. Take a photo of them, get them back in the water, check your photo. I store that right under my seat. I just slide it on there. I should probably have a tether on there. I don't at this time. It's probably going to cost me. I got my pliers, got that tethered in there. That's something I can easily drop, just like I did there. Don't want to drop it in the water. Don't want to be on the water without my pliers. Of course, we have a PFD. You have to have a PFD to fish in our tournaments. In my opinion, you have to have a PFD if you're fishing on a kayak as a whole. It's pretty comfortable PFD for me. It's got this mesh backing here, keeps me cool in the summer. It's got some nice pockets in it. I attach my boomerang snippers to it. It's got a nice lanyard on here. These things cut braid, cut any kind of line you need. I've cut my gloves when I've had a hook stuck through them that went into my hand. So they come in handy for a lot of things, but you know, mostly use it for your fishing line. Behind the seat here, I got two bags, mostly of plastics. This bag here, if you've seen a video in the past of mine of kind of how I manage some of my tackle, in here I got some boot tail swim baits, some of my larger swim baits. I got a larger glide bait in there. There's a little spool line in there that I use for my fluorocarbon line. I'm going to walk around before I show the other one. Back here you see my milk crate set up. On the milk crate I got my landing net. I got that tethered down on a nice long thing. It's a nice deep net. Hopefully I'll get to use that a lot because I'll have fish so big they need to use them. I have 8 where I just put PVC pipes attached with zip ties to my milk crate, where I can put my 8 rods in there. I don't think I keep contemplating if I need another one. I kind of overdo it. I'm an overdo it kind of guy. Once in a while with tackle. Of these 8, I might use 2. I might use all 8 of them. We'll see. I'm really not sure what condition the lake's in right now, but we'll find that out. In the side of the crate, see my tackle boxes. I really like those Plano boxes. Got one clear one here. Haven't upgraded that one yet, but I can label all of them. So I got some top waters in there. I got some chatterbaits and some jigs. I got some shallow cranks. I got my terminal tackle box. I got a box of my red lipless, and then I got some spring. I call them spring and deep cranks. There's some flat-sided cranks in there. A lot of those all in that crawdad color. A lot of red color in there. The bag you see back here. Showed you that in a past video. It's nice. It's a worm bag really from Plano, but I put all my spinnerbaits in there. Got some topwater buzzbaits in there also, but that's where I keep all my spinnerbaits. Here's my other soft plastic bag. That's a lot of trailers, hog farmer trailers, creature baits, all my different type of worms in there. These can all be tethered right to my seat. So that's pretty much the basic walkthrough of what my kayak is. I do have it on a sea tug cart right now because I wheeled it out here in the yard. There's times you're not right by the water, you got to park a little ways. That comes in real handy, getting it from my kayak trailer to the water and then back again. It's a nice, handy, it's heavy duty, good little cart to have. All right, so I'll move this a little bit over this way. Look at my rod setup, rod and reel setup real quick here. I'll just kind of start at the back here. My spinning rods. It's a Cashion. It's Cashion medium fast action. This one's 610. Spinning reel on there. This happens to be the Ardent Ignite 2000. I don't use anything bigger than a 2000. I'm not making huge casts. It gives me plenty on there. I have that rigged. I got 15-pound hi-vis. It's a yellow braided line, and then I use a FG knot to tie a fluorocarbon leader. I usually use an 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. I'll link some of these things in the description below. I make it pretty long because, as the day goes on, I'm cutting pieces off, and I don't want to have to retie if I don't have to. I'm gotten pretty good at the FG knot. I can get it tied on the water pretty easily sitting in my kayak, but that's a great knot. Comes through the guides really well. Help me out. So that's one of my spinning reel setups. My other spinning reel. This is a Dobyns. I really like my Dobyns rods also. This is another medium fast action. This is 7 foot. I can get a little bit further cast on it, take up line a little bit quicker. This is paired with a Shimano Nasci. Again, has that 15-pound hi-vis yellow braid on it tied to a 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. Would I use both of these spinning rods for my soft plastics? I'll use wacky worm, Texas rig worm, small creature baits, occasionally small little paddle tails, smaller lightweight underspins, any finesse thing. That's really what I like these for. If I'm really working in an area, some shaky heads I'll fish on here, occasionally a drop shot. So that's mainly what I use my spinning rods for. Continuing in the back, and you'll find the further back they are on my cart, that's probably less likely I'm thinking I might use them. But this here is one of my first bait cast rods, and it's medium heavy fast action Abu Garcia Black Max. Great rod. It's a little heavier, but you know, for as little as what I use it for, it's my frog rod, and then I also tie a buzzbait on here once in a while. So I got that rigged with a 13 fishing Inception. This is a high-speed reel. This is an 8:1 gear ratio reel. I like that, you know, for that frog fishing, getting them back in there. And I got 45-pound braid on there. So that's my rod I'm going to use for my frogs. And I like to use that for my buzzbaits also. Next, we got another Dobyns. I got a 7-1 medium heavy fast action. I like to just use this for my top waters. It's rigged again with braid. This is your Lews speed spool. Find my, sorry, I should know my speed on that. I have it written down someplace. I think it's a 7.5 to 1. I can't believe I can't find it. I'll have to put it down in the description for you. It usually says right on there. Ah, there it is. I just got to turn a little bit. Yeah, that's a 7.5 to 1 gear ratio. I like this for top water. I like the, you know, the fast tip. I like when I'm, especially for a walking bait. That seems to help me walk a little bit better. Got that braid because you need to float. Next one, this is an Ardent Edge rod. This is a medium heavy moderate, and it's a 7.6. This is one of my crankbait rods. I mostly use this for my lipless crankbaits. If I'm going to be throwing a lipless, I like to get a lot of distance out of it. That 7.6 really helps that. Then when you need to pick up line really quick, it helps that. That modern action gets me a lot of parabolic bend in it to help keep those treble hooks pinned in there. Helps fight that fish all the way back to the kayak. Got a 7.3 to 1 gear ratio here. This is the Ardent Apex Elite. I got 15-pound fluorocarbon in there. I like that 15-pound. I think 20 is a little bit too much. I don't need that 20-pound. 15 helps me get a little bit of depth in it. 12 seems to be not quite as, you know, work quite as well. I fish that lipless around grass a lot. I need to be able to rip it through the grass. Moving down the line here, this is my Dobyns KD medium heavy fast action 7.1. That is paired with a Shimano SLX, and the gear ratio on that is an 8 to 2. It's kind of a high-speed reel. Again, that medium fast action. This one, I predominantly, my main use of this is going to be swim jigs. I like a good heavy power action on there, that medium heavy power on there. That fast action helps set those hooks, but then a little faster reel to get it back to the boat to me also, back to the kayak. A lot of times they hit that swim jig and they're coming right at it, and they take it and they're coming to you. Helps you take up line. Once I get them pinned, I want to get them back there. That seems to help quite a bit, having a little bit faster action reel on there. This also has that 15-pound test on there. I meant to mention on that other one, I use copolymer. It's an Iserline copolymer. My main reason for getting into copolymer to begin with was expense. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of guys going out there spending some money on the better line. I can't compare it to anything myself because I don't. I don't know if I'm losing more fish or not doing as well because I'm using excuse me, the copolymer, but it seems to work really well for me. I really like it, and again, it's rather inexpensive. So if you know, I buy the big spools and I have it for quite a while, and I don't feel bad about having to change line on my reels very often because I'm not spending an exorbitant amount of money on my line. Maybe I should, we'll see. Next, I got another Dobyns rod here for you. This is the KD 744. That means it's 7 feet 4 inches 4 power. It's a heavy fast action. What do I like to use this for? I like to use this for my spinnerbaits. That's one of the applications I use it. Also some larger swim baits. I recently was out. I got the Berkley Nasci this year. I'm gonna trying that out. It's a great rod and reel for that. Pins the fish really nice. I can fight the bigger ones. I can also do some jig fishing with this. This one has the Curado reel. This is the Shimano Curado 200 IG. Is it IG? HG, sorry, 200 HG. And this is a, boy, I should have really been thinking about some of this. I know I have it all written down of what the gear ratio of this one is. Again, I'll link that in the description. I think it's about a 7.5 to 1, somewhere in that line. Sorry, I'll put it in the description for you. I'll put all of this down in the description for you. Really great, smooth workhorse reel for me. Throw a lot of big baits on here, and again, love it for my spinner baits. That's my predominant use for that. A few other things I can throw on there. My bigger, heavier underspins with a big boot tail on there. I'll throw that on there also. So my bigger Kitech swim baits, I can throw that on there. Great all-around rod for that. 20-pound copolymer on this one. Last one that I'll be taking with me for this trip anyway is another Dobyns KD. This is a 7.3 medium heavy, moderate fast action crankbait rod. I predominantly use this, I'm going to be using it anyway in this tournament, for the chatterbaits. I love using that moderate action. Mostly we fish a lot of grass around here, and what makes the chatterbait effective for me is kind of getting it in the grass and ripping it out. If you got a really stiff fast action, when it's ripping it out, it's about that, it's ripping too fast. It's ripping through the grass too fast, and it's pulling it away from your bass. He's coming up, he's waiting in that grass, and he sees it, might hear something, it's stuck in the grass, he's waiting for it to come out of there, and he's gonna pounce. Well, you rip it out of there, and you got a heavy action rod, it's going to pull it way too far and too fast, and he's not going to catch it. This slows up that action a little bit and helps you control that a little bit. Plus it just helps fight the fish for me a little bit, that modern action. I got this toured up with my other Ardent Apex Elite reel. This is 7.3 to 1. It's not too fast, not too slow. Seems to work good for me. This one I actually have some fluorocarbon on there. I got some Sunline Invizx 15-pound fluorocarbon. You don't need to go up any higher than that for a chatterbait. Going down a little bit less than that again, because you're ripping it through grass a lot. You don't want to get, breaking off your line, fighting fish in the grass. You got to have enough to do that, because if you're ripping it through the grass, occasionally you're going to catch one in the grass. You're going to pull back a bass that's got a lot of grass on the hook, because I also get some salad with your bass. Really like this setup. I love these cork handles on these KD series from Dobyns. Comfortable, lightweight. I'm not selling Dobyns, but just something I like. So that's my last setup for this tournament. Those are my basic rod and reel setups that I'll be going into this tournament at the Nettle Lake for Toledo Area Kayak Anglers League. If you like the information you got on this, again, I think I'm going to do another video a bit later in the week. I'm going to break down, maybe some specific baits and things I'm going to use, putting on those rods. I'll put a lot of links in that description. Check out Omnia Fishing. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. give me some, you know, tell me a little bit about yourself if you want, what you're looking for in content. I'll see if I can help you out in that. If not, have a great day. Again, try to get another video out. If not, hopefully get some on the water at the tournament. Maybe I'll get some fish. Maybe I'll pull in some top prize for that one. We got some good guys fishing this league. Gonna be a tough tournament. All our tournaments this year, I think, gonna be pretty competitive. Come join us if you can. Thanks for joining me on today's video.